Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, welcome to Hey Coach on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. You do your thing. We've got you covered. Hey Coach is also brought to you by Everwood, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Ford, get the job done right in a Ford F-150, the smartest F-150 ever. Raise your game and visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Toyota, visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and by McMurray Van. Rent local with McMurray Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Roll Tide, and welcome to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business, Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Welcome, everybody. This is Roger Hoover. It's great to be with you at Baumhower's tonight for the final Tuscaloosa edition of the show for this Alabama athletics year. Next week, it'll be Chris Stewart hosting a special edition of Hey Coach from Baumhower's in Foley, Alabama, and what will be our final episode of the show for the 2024 to 2025 Alabama athletics season. Tonight on the show, we'll be focused on Crimson Tide baseball. Alabama will be back at home coming up this weekend at Sewell Thomas Stadium for a Thursday to Saturday series against the Missouri Tigers here in Tuscaloosa. Alabama over the weekend went 1-2 in Baton Rouge against LSU. And before the Mizzou series starts this weekend, there will also be a game tomorrow between Alabama and Samford in Birmingham. That will be on campus at Samford University at 6 p.m. We'll first talk about this Tide baseball season with Alabama pitcher Coulson Buchanan, and then the left fielder and the captain of the Crimson Tide, Kade Snell. Both are in person here with us tonight at Baumhower's. Then in our final half hour, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn, to get his thoughts on what's ahead for Alabama. Crimson Tide fans, I want to remind you to watch Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR Thursday afternoons on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Drive, again, live each Thursday at 2 o'clock, so make sure you join us for the absolute latest on Alabama athletics. I want to remind you as well to keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. Coulson Buchanan joins us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek, Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek, Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, Tide fans? This is Mark Sears reminding you that the best defense against ants, spiders, mosquitoes, and other pests is Cook's Pest Control. Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. Cook's Centricon system is today's best technology for termite control. Protect your house with pest control you can trust. Call Cook's today for a free inspection.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
The Alabama Education Association is the member-driven voice of Alabama's education employees. AEA members are teachers, education support professionals, administrators, professors, future teachers, and education retirees. Joining the Alabama Education Association has never been easier. Use their new online membership for a fast, safe, and secure way to join today. Visit myaea.org to learn more.
Hey there, Bob Baumhower again, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhower's Victory Grill with our Slam Dunk Specials. It's nothing but net with a pound of our world-famous wings. Tip it off with our party-ready trays, including traditional wings, buttermilk fried chicken tenders, and hot lips, to name a few. Want a cold beer with those wings? How about $7.99 pitchers of Yingling served all day, 7 days a week? Break out those brackets and bring the gang to the best watch party place in town, Baumhower's Victory Grill, the true king of wings.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Welcome back to Baumhower's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover. Now, please be joined by Alabama right-handed pitcher Coulson Buchanan. Roll Tide, Coulson.
Roll Tide.
Do you respond to Coulson well, or should we just call you Buck the rest of the interview?
Well, when I'm at the field, it's pretty much exclusively Buck, but Coulson still works.
Obviously, your last name Buchanan. Is that how the nickname started? You a big hunter? How'd that all come to be?
No, it's the last name Buchanan. I've been Bucky. I've been Buck. I've been a bunch of different things throughout my career, but Buck's what stuck here at Alabama.
That's good. Well, we're glad you're with the Crimson Tide once again. Part of the pitching staff, and we've seen you in a different variety of roles. What do you like about your role on this team?
I've really kind of taken to the bullpen, and I like just kind of being available every day. That's something that I take pride in. It's just kind of the recovery aspect of that and just the availability to help the bullpen out whenever I can. Just being active every day and in any situation, I feel like I'm comfortable if I need to come in and need some outs and stop kind of a rally the other team may have, or late in the game if I need to get some big outs. I feel kind of comfortable doing anything, so that's kind of what I pride myself on. Yeah,
a lot of times this season we've seen you be the first man out of the bullpen, whether it's coming in for a midweek starter, a guy on the weekend as well. What do you like about being the first man out of that bullpen?
I think just kind of you get that kind of second chance behind the starter to really set a tone. The starter gets the ball first, and the starter's going to set a tone, and usually that's been a good tone for us. So I'm either trying to follow that up and kind of keep that going and make the opponent think that the bullpen's going to be stable the rest of the game, or if it's not a great tone that's been set so far, just kind of settle the game down, come in, get us back in the dugout, and start scoring.
Mention we've seen you in midweek games. Alabama hasn't lost so far this season on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. What's been the right approach for this team approaching games like that?
I think it's just been staying present. I think this league is so tough because it's really easy to just focus on the weekends, and you're playing in front of so many people, and there's such a big stage on the weekend, and there's really fun weekends a lot of the time. So you kind of come back in the midweek, and you're playing some different opponents you wouldn't usually play, but we say it all the time, the in-state opponents especially, you just got to match their intensity and match their enthusiasm. So that's kind of what we've done a good job. That's what we preach, and that's the approach we take to those games, and it's been working out for us.
Your experience starting your career at Wofford and maybe going to some Power 4 schools, did that help you with that mindset?
For sure, yeah. I've gotten to see both sides of it, which is really cool. And what I was just saying about matching that intensity, I felt that as well. When you're kind of at that level, that smaller level, coming to play a big school, say like Alabama, I've done that on that side of the ball as well. And honestly, those were some of my favorite games. I loved kind of getting that opportunity and seeing how we stack up, and just that kind of positive free roll. If we play our kind of successful game, we can take our chances, and we realize we're going to get everybody's best shot, so we're trying to give them our best shot as well.
So looking back at your college career, you started your career at Wofford, a couple of years there. What are you most proud of your days with the Terriers?
I really had a good time there. I look back at my experiences there fondly. It was a good place to play. I had a good experience with my coaches, good experience with my teammates. It's a cool part of the country that I got to experience. It's a cool school. It's really, really small, so that brings with it its own experience compared to a school like this. So it was just kind of unique all the way around, which I really enjoyed. Obviously, I love being here now. This isn't something that I would have ever passed up, but I hold no hard feelings towards Wofford. I really enjoyed it there. So.
Yeah, good career there. Then you go in the transfer portal. Kind of what were you looking for? What made Alabama stand out?
Well, I've kind of grown up an Alabama fan. My mom graduated from here. My little sister goes here now, so it's kind of been a family affair for Alabama. And I originally got into the transfer portal because my head coach had left and taken a new job at Wofford. And the thought process was maybe I could come back home and play in-state, see what kind of opportunities worked out there. That's what I felt most reliable with. But truth be told, if I was going to go play in-state at a school like maybe Georgia or Georgia Tech, there's no way I was going to not hopefully take a look at Alabama. And I got on the phone with JJ, and the ball started rolling, and I never looked back.
So as an Alabama fan, what did it mean to you the first time you put on that crimson jersey?
Everything. I mean, it's, like I said, I've been coming here forever. And on my visit, that's something I talked about with Coach Vaughn, is at the very least you're going to get everything out of me because this place means a lot to me. And I feel like that's something I've tried to live by, and every day I still have to pinch myself when I put the uniform on.
Special moments for Coulson Buchanan with the Crimson Tide. We'll talk more about what's coming up for Alabama this season when we return with him coming up in just a moment. Batters up for Baumhower's new Step Up to the Plate menu. Enjoy these great ballpark selections, including Baumhower's Alabama Hot Chicken Platter, the new Grit Specials, and more. Hit it out of the park this season with Baumhower's Step Up to the Plate menu. Baumhower's Victory Grill, legendary fun and legendary food. More with Coulson Buchanan when we return. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Domino's delivers game day across Tuscaloosa and the surrounding area. Locally owned in Tuscaloosa for 30-plus years, the team at Domino's is proud to be a supporter of Alabama basketball and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDomino's.com. Thanks for your business, and Roll Tide.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast.
Get ready to rev up your engines and feel the excitement at Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac. We've got the perfect ride to match your style and adventure. Visit us at our showroom at Skyland Boulevard and let our friendly team help you find the vehicle of your dreams. Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac, where hometown pride and unbeatable deals collide. Drive with passion with Barkley. Visit us today or check us out online at barkleygmc.com.
Barkley makes it easy.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live courtside cam, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus Hey Coach. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes and coaches that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Looking to make a statement? Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. With our incredible range of signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement with Fast Signs. Stop in today or visit fastsigns.com. A proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. The Everwood Performance of the Week goes to Alabama baseball pitcher Zane Adams. He gave up just 1 run over 5 innings to earn his 5th win of the season on Saturday. Crimson Tide won the series finale over the 9th-ranked LSU Tigers with a 7-4 final score. The win improves Alabama to 31-10 overall and 9-9 in SEC play. That is the Everwood Performance of the Week. Everwood would treated right. Roger Hoover now joined by one of the teammates for Zane Adams on this Crimson Tide roster, Coulson Buchanan. And first of all, let's talk about Zane, what we saw last game from him. How electric was his stuff in Baton Rouge?
It was awesome. He's really fun to watch. He was kind of having a bounce back start for us, and he pitched on a different day. And we saw him last year be super successful on the weekend. And Friday is a tough jump for anybody. So he's just kind of been figuring that out a little bit, and he's been great for us all year. He brings the right mindset to it. And this weekend, we were happy to see him kind of do it for us this weekend.
Really good to see that. Really good to see Riley Quick healthy as well and performing at a high level.
Yeah, for sure. Riley's the man. He works super hard, and he was so frustrated when he had to miss that start because of his blister on his finger. But it's really just unavoidable. It was unfortunate timing, but he's working hard. He's ready to pitch every day, so he's just a good teammate too.
So that's part of the pitching staff for Alabama. You mentioned a huge part of the reason you came to Alabama, that first conversation you had with our pitching coach, Jason Jackson. How has he made you a better pitcher?
Really all the way around. We talk a lot about the mental side of the game, which is obviously huge pitching. Physical improvements. I've kind of changed my delivery quite a bit since we've been here, just kind of taking stuff in, whether it be bullpens or whether it be live outings, season to season. I made a good bit of changes this offseason as well. And then just kind of some usage changes, adding pitches that I wouldn't have thrown, deciding when to throw those, what counts to throw those, and deciding what's going to be my stuff that I'm going to put away hitters with has been a big adjustment for me this year that we've made together.
So what are the different pitches you throw, and when you're having success, what are they doing to the hitters?
So I throw a four-seam that is just a good backspun four-seam that rides a little bit. I throw a slider, which is kind of my bread and butter. That's what I've thrown most of my career, and that's really my two-strike pitch. I throw a changeup. That's something that JJ and I have really worked on a lot. That's gotten a lot better in my time here. And then a pitch that I added when I got here is a little cutter, so I don't have to rely on the four-seam as much. I can kind of shrink that usage and have something else to show hitters. And when I'm good, I'm really just able to kind of get ahead, pitch backwards. I don't throw overly hard, so I've got to have a good mix of stuff and keep hitters off balance. And that's kind of when I'm at my best. You can tell that there's nothing a hitter's going to be on time with.
And that's led to good results for you and working with you in all of those different outings. Your catchers, so Will Plattner, Brady Neal. We've seen Brady in there the last few games, so as Will works his way back, just how valuable are those guys? They're
awesome. I've really been spoiled. I don't even have to check the lineup on days I'm pitching because I know one of them's going to be back there, and they're both good. I really like throwing to them, and they do bring different things to the table. They catch in different ways, but I don't have a preference at all. They're awesome. Mentally, they're awesome too, keeping me in check, and pitch calling, they're awesome. Working with JJ and keeping free 90s off the board, they're awesome too. So all the way around, they're both good.
Do you like that pitch comm technology?
I do. I really wasn't sure initially. Last year we operated off the watches, so obviously you're looking at it, and that's how it gets relayed. This year we're going with the headset. And in the fall, I wasn't really sure. We obviously tested it a little bit, and I was kind of slow to take to it, but it's gotten optimized. We put them in faster. I've got more time to decide what pitch we want to throw. Our shake system's a little smoother now once we've gotten used to it, and I love it now. It's great.
Well, only 4 weekends left in conference play, the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament after that. Does it kind of blow your mind how this season's starting to fly by?
It does, especially like we were just talking about. This is my last year, so I'm kind of counting down the days, or making the days count is a better way to put it, I guess. But, yeah, it's getting close now, and it's really crunch time, which is the fun part of the season. We're hoping to make a run and get to play a little longer.
Now, you're one of the senior leaders of this team, but also our next guest, Kade Snell, one of the senior leaders as well, voted on as a captain. Why do you think you and your teammates made sure he got to wear the jersey number 3 this year?
I think he's just a good example. I mean, your captain is somebody that you want to watch them play, and you think that should set an example for the rest of the team. And I've seen Kade. You couldn't keep Kade off the field last year, and he had some stuff that guys across the country I know would not be playing through. And that's not what it's all about. Obviously, we want Kade healthy. He's been healthy, which is great, and it's better for the team when he's healthy. But when you see a guy that's fighting like that, and as tough as he is, and as tough as he is every day at practice, and what he brings to the table, that's just the guy that we all wanted to wear it.
Extremely well said. Well, Coulson Buchanan, you're doing a great job for the Crimson Tide out of the bullpen this year. Just thank you for your time with us tonight. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Let's have a round of applause for Coulson Buchanan of the Crimson Tide baseball team. Coming up, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. If you would like to ask Coach a question tonight, give us a call on the McCurry Van and Car Rental Hotline at 877-202-BAMA. Rent local with McCurry Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need, proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. When we come back, we'll be joined by the captain and the left fielder for the Crimson Tide baseball team, Kade Snell. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for T-Town. The University of Alabama Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now Card. They're a win for your wallet and a big roll tide, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tide pride? Order your card now at regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Being a Chevron car these days has been quite the adventure. Miami to Seattle, ocean to ocean. I've stopped at so many states and collected so many bumper stickers. Sometimes I feel like a moving passport book. It's just so great what I can do with Chevron with Techron, because it gives me unbeatable mileage and keeps my engine clean. Plus, there are so many Chevrons along the way. Now the only thing I'm worried about is where to go next and where to put all my new bumper stickers. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Coleman Coliseum gives the Tide a big home court advantage. When it comes to your home, count on Tri-Green Equipment to give you a big tried and true advantage with our lineup of John Deere equipment. From riding mowers, compact utility tractors, gators, to large agricultural equipment, they've got serious game. Plus, the tried and true Tri-Green team is always there when you need an assist. Stop by one of our locations or visit TriGreenEquipment.com. Proud sponsors of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball.
Fastball slider mostly for Allen on the mound. Here's a swing, and here's a drive. High and deep down the left field line, and this ball is fair, and it is gone. First Crimson Tide home run for Peyton Steele. This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home, stay in comfort, and enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 restaurant and bar. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Tonight we're talking baseball at Baumhower's Victory Grille. Roger Hoover now joined by the left fielder for the Crimson Tide, Kade Snell. Roll Tide, Kade.
Roll Tide.
It's good to have you guys back in Tuscaloosa. Ball game, of course, coming up tomorrow at Sanford before a 3-game series against Missouri coming up this weekend. But I know it's going to be nice to be home from Baton Rouge, but you were swinging a hot bat. What was leading to success of the plate, especially in Game 1 for you?
Just seeing the ball well and trusting our plan. I mean, Coach Pap goes over it before every game, and we get a good look at the starter and some of the guys that are normally going to come out of the pen. And just having a plan, going up there, being on time with the fastball, and if you see it pop, just stay on it.
That's certainly good. So the Crimson Tide win the final game of the LSU series. This is your senior year playing for Alabama. How have you enjoyed this senior season?
Man, this has been awesome. Being being healthy has really been awesome. And that's always inevitable. And, we do a lot of things to prevent stuff with Sean, and he's just a good trainer, and he puts the right foot forward, and, he takes care of us. And it's just been a completely different kind of feel. We all loved each other as soon as we got here in the fall. And I'm not saying that wasn't how it was last year. It was just there was a lot of JUCO guys and a lot of transfers coming in, which that's the name of the game now. I mean, it's new faces all the time, but we just really meshed. This group did, and it's been really good.
Yeah, it led to a hot start this season for the Crimson Tide, and you talk about meshing in the fall. Did you really feel like you were stepping up more as a leader with all the new faces that were coming in, and do you feel like that's why your teammates voted you to be the captain?
Man, that one caught me off guard. I wrote down there was a bunch of names that came to mind, Buck being one of them, Hodo being one of them, and it was just, I never really thought that a bunch of guys my age would ever think that of me, especially my journey. I've been to Auburn my freshman year and then went to JUCO and kind of had to battle my way to get back to the SEC, and it was just it was a really cool feeling whenever they saw me for that. And man, I love those guys, and it brought a tear to my eye.
Special bond as well with Evan Slight, the first man to wear number 3.
Oh yeah, we text often. He actually texted me the other day, saying, hey, just keep swinging it and keep all these boys in good spirits and keep the morale high. And he's just one of those guys that you could ask whatever and he'll give you his honest opinion. And he's been there, done that. So he's a good role model to look up to, and I really appreciate him.
Coulson talked a little bit about it. You had to battle some things your first year with Alabama to even get back on the field and perform at a high level. Can you tell us about some of those things you were?
I thought I just ran into a really bad luck streak. I didn't know what was going on. We did some pickoff play when I was over there at first, rolled my ankle, ended up breaking it. Right there before the spring, it was just a bunch of crazy things that happened, and then I had some back issues, but all that stuff's healed now. And I always looked at it as, what in the world is going on? Like, am I doing something wrong? And I think God was just showing me, don't take anything for granted. When you get out there, play it to your complete fullest potential that you can, because you never know when it could be your last play or your last hit or something like that. And he really put everything into perspective for me, and it's just it's made a world of difference when you look at it like that.
Yeah, and it's really clicked for you this year. What can you tell us about your hitting approach and the reason you're having some success at the plate this year?
Well, this is going to sound crazy, but I hit and think like a pitcher, because I think I always, my first trip to the SEC, I was just a PO. So I did a lot of things pitching, and then I went JUCO, did a lot of things pitching. So as I hit, I kind of think, well, what would I throw right here? And it doesn't always work. I mean, it really does not always work. But I think that's kind of helped me with hitting, just being in that mindset and knowing possibly what these guys up there on the mound are thinking. And that's just always helped me.
Saw you as a two-way player for the Crimson Tide last year. Not the case this year. Strictly focused on left field and hitting. Do you miss pitching? Coach Vaughn's not listening, so let us know.
I do miss pitching sometimes. And I keep telling him, and I know he's listening, but I keep telling him I got one more inning left in me, or whatever it may be. If we're putting a pinch and we got some, arms that are struggling, I'm here. I got one pitch. If you need a ground ball, I'll try my best to throw a sinker if I still got it, and we'll see what happens.
That's always good. What do you like about this pitching staff this year from your perspective?
We got a lot of them. Man, they're gritty and they're dogs, and they know how to go up there and win. And, put all the numbers and stuff aside. They just want to go and help the ball club. It's really good to have a guy like Buck coming into the game. I know what I'm gonna get every single time I go out there, and it's gonna be a lot of weak contact, and it's gonna be strikes. That's the big thing. Filling up the zone, and of course my roommate Hagan, love him to death. He goes up there and throws strikes. Oz shuts the door. Berger's been good. Q's been good. Zane's been good. I mean, they've just all been. They've always given us a chance to win, and that's all you can really ask for out of pitchers.
And defensively, doing the job as well, especially you guys in the outfield. A lot of speed there. What's it like to play next to Richie Bonamolo as well as Bryce Fowler?
It's easy to play right beside Richie. He takes, really and truly, if you could see the outfield right now, it's like 50 and then almost 50. He takes a lot of balls that are in the gap, and he makes it easy. I always tell him, I got the line, and you got everything else. and he takes care of it from there.
There you go. Well, you guys have the road game coming up tomorrow against Samford, one of the final midweeks of the year, and then you get ready for Missouri coming up this weekend. What do you hope the fans see from this baseball team?
Of course, we got to take it one game at a time. So we got Samford tomorrow. Looking forward to going over there. And, we'd love as much support as y'all could bring for us. We got a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Let's see if we can pack out the Joe. I mean, we can go and, take care of business this week, and we're right back in a good spot. So,
how much you enjoyed home games here, especially your family getting to come up from Wicksburg and Dothan getting to see you a lot?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool, especially when I'm out there and left. And I promise you I'm focused to the game. I'm watching the games. But it's good to look to my right and see, people I haven't seen since high school and, getting to talk to them after the game, going up there. And, of course, the Ragers are always loud. It's just good to kind of have all those people behind you, and it makes a world of difference. Last question. What is this group capable of over the next few weeks? Really, the sky's the limit. I mean, when we're playing our best baseball, it's really hard to stop us. And, we've had a couple ruts or whatever, and that's college baseball, especially at this time. But this is about right at the certain time where we're going to turn it up, and I really feel good about this team. And like I said, the sky's the limit.
We look forward to seeing it. Well, Kade Snell, thank you so much for the time you've given us today, and, of course, leading the Crimson Tide all throughout the season. Best of luck. Roll Tide.
Thank you. Roll Tide.
Let's have a round of applause for Kade Snell as you listen to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance, Auto, Home, Life, Business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. We'll continue with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn, in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Bama fans, this is Roger Hoover. Each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics, with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Each Monday night, join us for Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Live at 6 p.m. Central from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk Alabama athletics with Tide coaches and players, plus take your calls. Hey Coach is available to listen to across our radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as a video stream on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Hey Coach, Mondays at 6 p.m. on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Crimson Tide fans, this season don't lose out on your home comfort. Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics and has been delivering the highest standards in home comfort across Birmingham for over 60 years. If you're looking for a great team and elite service from a quality company that cares, you can't miss with Brown in Birmingham. Score big this year with Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Visit brownheatingandcooling.com/specials to save on your next service. Roll Tide!
DCH has a new dedicated unit especially for children. At DCH, we recognize how the entire family is affected when a child is sick, injured, or living with a chronic medical condition. Our board-certified pediatricians specialize in providing our youngest patients, from birth through adolescence, the best care appropriate to their developmental level, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. DCH Pediatrics, making a big difference in little lives.
1225 is your ultimate game day destination. Catch the game on one of their 35 big screen high-def TVs, combined with an extensive menu of mouth-watering food and refreshing drinks. Juicy burgers, crispy wings, craft beers, signature cocktails. 1225, where the energy is high, the screens are massive, and the excitement is contagious. Visit 1225 on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, less than 2 blocks from Bryant-Denny Stadium. 1225 Sports Bar, where sports, food, and fun collide.
Tired of being just another patient at your chain pharmacy? Make the switch to Payless Drugs. With 5 convenient locations in Bessemer, Birmingham, Fairfield, Morris, and Springfield, our knowledgeable team can provide personalized medication reviews and supplement recommendations, deliver medications to your door, and more. Visit mypaylessdrugs.com to transfer today. We're just what the doctor ordered.
You're listening to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Welcome back to Baumhower's in Tuscaloosa. Roger Hoover now pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Alabama baseball team, Rob Vaughn. Roll Tide, Coach.
Hey, roll Tide. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. Happy to have the Crimson Tide in SEC play back at home this weekend. I know, obviously, a game tomorrow in Birmingham against Samford. But for you and the Crimson Tide, just what are your main takeaways from what we saw over 3 games in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I mean, that place is something else. I tell you what, it was, the atmosphere there was electric. And, the game on Thursday went about as according to plan as we could have had it. You got an elite arm in Kade Anderson on the mound, going to be a first-rounder, and we kind of wore him out. Kade hit a couple homers off him. We're up 5-1 in the 6th and got our guys in the game, and just couldn't quite finish it. Went to some guys in the bullpen, and they just ran a couple balls out of the yard in big spots, and when that place gets going, it's something, and it was just hard to stop that first game, and we just didn't play awesome baseball, I didn't think. We did some good things, but just we've been such a solid defensive team this year and just didn't play great defense in some big spots, and at a place like that against a team like that, when you give them extra outs, they generally capitalize, and that's what got us the first 2 games, and we just went out and played a really good baseball game on Saturday and had a lead basically the whole way and, turned it to Oz there at the end. And that's why Oz is Oz, man. I mean, it was rocking and it didn't affect him one bit and go out and finish that thing. So, one of those weekends that you kind of sit back and kick yourself a little bit because you feel like you let one get away from you. You very easily could have won the series. But that's baseball. That's especially baseball in this league. One mistake will get you, and that's what it did. So we got out of there on Saturday with a win and turn our attention to Samford tomorrow.
Before we go to the phones, you mentioned the Saturday win. How good was it to see Zane Adams get back to the form? We've seen that of him not only throughout his freshman year, but as a sophomore as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of this game that's mental, and you've seen it. Zaner was elite for us last year, had some great starts for us this year, and kind of got knocked off the horse a little bit the last 2 weekends. And just wanted to give him a couple extra days and got his feet back underneath him, maybe, get him off of that game 1 start. And, even in the first, I felt like he was still feeling for his stuff a little bit. Wasn't quite crisp, wasn't quite just sending his stuff, and gets a huge double play ball, gets out of the first, and really he had an at-bat against Stanfield in the second. There was a long at-bat, got him on a really good breaking ball to punch him out, and from then on, you saw his stuff just get back to Zane Adams' stuff. He started stuffing the fastball in through some really good changeups, had feel for the breaking ball, just got back to being Zane. So it was great to get him back. We're going to need him down this stretch run to be the guy that we all know he's capable of. So if you can go do it at the box, you can do it anywhere.
Absolutely. Tonight's first question to Coach Vaughn from the phones, brought to you by Alabama 811 to help prevent injuries, outages, and loss of life. Call 811 or visit al811.com. Before you dig, it is free, it is simple, and it's the law. We go to the McCurry Van and Car Rental Hotline to Pee-wee, who joins us now from Grand Bay, Alabama. Roll Tide, Pee-wee.
Roll Tide, Roger. Coach, how are you doing, sir?
Couldn't be any better. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Coach, we are 9-9 in the SEC 500. We've got 12 games left in the rest of the season. I was just curious, how many of these do you think that we need to win to be able to at least secure a 1-round bye? And what would be the biggest emphasis of these last 12 games to be able to do that?
Yeah, man, that's a great question, and this is going to be me doing the thing I tell our players not to do, which is look ahead to these extra games. But I think the big thing here, I mean, this weekend's going to be big. Missouri is scuffled a little bit this year, but I've been around this game long enough. They're going to get somebody. They're going to get somebody at some point. We got to do our job to make sure that's not us this weekend. And so we got to come out and play a really good one this weekend. Then you go on the road to Vanderbilt, who's kind of been Jekyll and Hyde a little bit, can really pitch it, have had some tough weekends, but just had a big-time sweep at Georgia last weekend. We get Georgia back at home, which is where you want to play those guys. You kind of look at their splits. Their numbers are very, very different at home versus on the road, and then you finish on the road in Gainesville against the Gators. So, I think historically the SEC would tell you win 14, 15 games, you're pretty much a lock to get into the NCAA tournament. But I think this group's got their sights set on a lot more than that, and I think we get to that 16, 17 number. I think we play baseball here in June, which is exactly what we all want to do. I've heard stories in 23 about how rocking the Joe was in that regional, and we want to bring that back this year.
Pee Wee, thank you for the call. Let's stay with the phones right now, the McCurry Van and Car Rental Hotline. Let's go next to Tuscaloosa, where Alex joins us now. Roll Tide, Alex.
Roll Tide. How are we doing, Coach?
Oh, I'm great, man. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. So Buck talked about it a little earlier, but from the top down, what's the attitude behind, like, when you go into these games like you have tomorrow at Sanford? You know, this is a huge program game for them. Like, what's the message from the top down?
Yeah, man, I think that's been what this group has been just elite at up to this point this year. Is you see it all the time in the SEC. You see these SEC weekends that, man, they're emotional. You're playing in front of 10,000 people. It's loud. It's crazy. It takes a lot out of you. And you see these SEC teams coming to Tuesday, Wednesday games and just stub their toe because it does. It's an emotionally taxing weekend. And what our group has been incredibly impressive with this year is, man, every game is an opportunity. It's one of the things I love about rugby. I don't know a lot about the rules of rugby. I don't know much about any of that stuff, but they refer to all their competitions as tests. Like, that's a test match. That's a test. And that's what I've challenged our guys with this year. Every game we go out, it doesn't matter if it's LSU in front of, 10,000 people at the box, or if it's, in front of whatever we're going to have tomorrow at Sanford. It's a test for us. Can we come out and be mature enough in our approach? Can we come out and play our game? Can we come out and execute at the level we need to execute at? And this team, man, I tell you, the gene that they've had, you can throw everything else out the window. Yes, there's good players. Yes, there's all that thing. But, man, there's 40 winners that sit over in that dugout. And I think that's the reason we've ended up on the right side of a lot of these things is they expect to win. They prepare to win. Mentally, they're just cut from a little bit different cloth than a lot of teams I've been fortunate enough to coach. So love this group, and it's gonna be a big test tomorrow. You're gonna have some rain early in the day. Who knows what our pregame preparation is gonna look like as they're getting their field and everything ready to go. So all those things just present an opportunity for you to come out and be flat. But I trust our leadership of our team, and our boys will be ready to go at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
And we talked about before kind of the mental mindset for this group. Even when everything was going well early in the season, you talked about how they've been tough, blue collar, coming to that field with that winning mindset each and every game. Is it refreshing to see it too, even with some losses sprinkled in over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think that's when things get tested, right? Like it's fun. It's fun for fans. It's fun for us. It's fun to go home and hang out after 20 wins in a row and all this stuff. It's fun, but at the end of the day, what we're really doing here is you're building a culture and you're building people and you're building a program. And, man, you get tested in the losses. You get tested in the struggle. Like, that's when you actually figure out what your group's made of. It ain't hard to have each other's back. It's not hard to say you care about each other. It's not hard to do all those things when everything's going right. Everybody's hitting 370. Everybody's pitching at a 1. It's easy, but that's not the way life works. That's not the way college baseball works. That's for these kids to be incredibly successful when their time in Tuscaloosa is over. That's what it takes. Like, can you pick yourself up off the mat? When you get that gut punch and you get that bad medical diagnosis, you get fired, you get whatever it is in life, which is what a majority of these young people will do when they're done. Can you just keep getting up off the mat? Because that's not normal. A lot of people want to sit and suck their thumb and feel bad for themselves. I got 40 dudes that don't behave that way. And that's why this season has gone the way it's gone, and it's going to continue to move that way, and that's why these kids are going to be incredibly successful when their time on the baseball field's done.
We look forward to what's ahead for Alabama baseball coming up this season. We'll talk more about that with Coach Vaughn when we continue next here on Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Don't stop planning for your future.
Don't stop investing in your kids' education. Don't stop dreaming of that new home. And don't stop growing your business. Whatever you're passionate or dreaming about, don't stop. Because when you have a bank you can trust, you have the confidence to take on tomorrow. Speak with a Trustmark associate today for advice on achieving your goals. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You know that feeling when you're doing what you love? You're in the zone, truly and fully alive, lost in thought. You know what you're not thinking about? Insurance. That's where Alfa comes in. Alfa handles all things insurance, so you're free to do anything. So get out there and live your best life. Whatever your thing is, we've got you covered. That's life with Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to learn more.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Preserving, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood offers top-notch pressure-treated wood for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. When it comes to quality, we're on the winning team. Visit your local Everwood dealer today and discover the difference for yourself. Everwood Preserving Incorporated, the official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Get game ready by shopping at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. Shop Nike and for all of your officially licensed Bama gear. Head to Alumni Hall in Midtown Village or shop alumnihall.com. Receive $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Check them out at Alumni Hall. We continue on Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Roger Hoover now joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. And Coach, we've seen a few lineup changes here and there, getting Bryce Fowler now to the top of the order, and Richie Bonamolo keeps hitting for power. We talked about how that was a good thing batting leadoff. What do you like it now in the middle of the order?
Yeah, I think, Bryce is the guy that I loved at the top. He just, like a lot of hitters, just had about a 2-week span that was kind of allergic to getting hits there for a little bit. So just took some pressure off and moved him down in the order. That took a week, and he got himself back going. So we were able to get him back to the top. We were looking this weekend going into LSU, and over the last 10 games, he had our best on-base percentage out of anybody. So wanting to get him back to the top, set the table for Braun and Kade. But at the same time, Bono was, he's just been good everywhere we put him. He's elite in the 9. We moved him up to the 1, was awesome. He handles spin, he can handle velocity, he can handle all that stuff, which is perfect right in the middle, and he's been great. Had an awesome weekend in LSU, man. Had a huge homer on Saturday. Just missed another one late, but just a really good ball player, man. Can really defend, and just really like him there in the middle of the order to just give us a good productive at bat with those guys on in front of him.
And also the last few weeks, Alabama working with the pitching rotation. We've seen Tyler Fay make back-to-back starts. So what do you like about his innings on the mound in Baton Rouge, especially after what we saw against Mississippi State here in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, a couple things with T-Fay. He's had such good stuff, and we've just been trying to get him kind of figure out where the best role is for him. We've tried him in the bullpen. We've tried him in certain situations, and it's not that he has been bad. It just hasn't been as good as I think him or us would want it to be. And JJ, me, and Mo were talking the other day, and it was like, man, let's see if this stuff plays better at the beginning, and so we gave him that spot start there, last weekend, and he threw the ball well. And he's been fastball, slider, changeup a big part of his career. This summer he started playing with a cutter, and I tell you what, that cutter has been kind of a game changer for him because it's just a little bit tighter than the slider, a little bit harder than the slider. He can run it up under lefty's hands, and he did a really good job throwing that the last 2 weeks. So the unfortunate piece is with a short turnaround, him going Sunday to Thursday, we couldn't extend him much more. You saw him by the end. He started getting up in the zone a little more, started getting tired. But hopefully now on regular rest, we can get a little bit more out of T-Fay, hopefully get him in that 75, 80 pitch range and get him into a good start because he seems to like that role. He feels good in that role. And I'm telling you, that place was rocking on Thursday night, and he did nothing but sit there and execute pitches. He outpitched Cade Anderson, who's going to be a first-rounder. He he outpitched him for 5 innings. And so really happy with Tyler and just happy for him. You know, these kids put so much into it, and so to see them get rewarded for that is pretty cool.
You mentioned the cutter for him, and also Coulson Buchanan brought that up. We've seen that with Riley Quick as well. I mean, is that one of the great pitches that JJ is able to teach these guys while they're here?
Yeah, I think it's just such a hard pitch for hitters. You know, like I didn't see cutters until I got to pro ball. Nobody in college threw a cutter when I was in college, and you get there and it looks like a heater. You know, and you're especially as hard as guys are throwing now. It's, you know, it looks like a fastball away and it disappears, or it looks like a fastball in and it just disappears on you. It's just a harder pitch to see. And so, yeah, JJ and Mo do a great job working with those guys. And some guys can throw that, some guys can't. You know, Buck's added it to his arsenal, but man, that curveball's still his moneymaker, you know, and he's been outstanding with it. But Riley, that's been a game changer for him too, man. You saw the way he threw the cutter, not necessarily this weekend. He didn't throw as well this weekend, but last weekend, man, he made some really good hitters look foolish on that cutter end. So yeah, that's a weapon when guys can execute it.
Of course, Crimson Tide on the road this past weekend in Baton Rouge. You got the road game tomorrow against Sanford, then another Thursday through Saturday series, and we really are running out of home games. Only this Missouri series and the Georgia series left. What kind of home field atmosphere do you want to see for the Crimson Tide when we are at the Joe the next couple series?
Yeah, I think it's an encouragement and a challenge all in the same. You know, I think the thing that's really neat is we've had people show up this year, and that's been cool. Like, when you just look out at the stadium and you see the stands full, you see people everywhere, which is awesome. Like, that's the first step in us continuing to build this, because that's what it is. This is a community we're building together. This isn't us being good on the field and they show up. This is us collectively together putting a product on the field here in town and creating an atmosphere. And I think that's what we just got to continue to do. It's got to be one of those places. The Joe is such an awesome venue. It's got to be one of those places that when people walk into it, they feel something different, you know. And I told this story about Trey Turner all the time. I told the Crimson Chaos this before the year started, you know. When he was in Philadelphia scuffling, and they gave him a standing ovation in the middle of that thing, and how that really lifted him, and he went on to a career year after that. And I think that's the thing that a really good home crowd can do is, you know, I challenge our guys to not be normal all the time. Normal is when we hit a homer, people stand up and cheer. That's normal, you know. But I want to be abnormal here. I want it to be an electric atmosphere. I want our fans to uplift our guys at times when they need it, and then it's our job to put something on the field and a product out there that they can get excited for and that they can get behind. So it's a collective effort, but we got 6 more games at home, and I want that place rocking for all 6. That Georgia weekend is going to be a big one.
Tickets available at RolledTide.com. Well, Coach, we look forward to seeing you not only tomorrow in Birmingham, first things first against Sanford, but, of course, this weekend against Mizzou. These fans are fired up for what's ahead for you and your baseball team. We are as well. Just thank you for your time. Roll Tide.
Yeah, thank you, Roger. Roll Tide.
It's the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. When we come back, we'll start to wrap things up on this Monday night as you listen to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast. You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live courtside cam, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus Hey Coach. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes and coaches that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Hey Alabama, celebrate with JMF Solutions. With nearly 2 decades of innovation, JMF proudly announces its $6.3 million award for Alabama's middle mile broadband projects. But wait, there's more. Introducing Prestige HealthNet, revolutionizing hospital IT services. Prestige brings professional solutions to rural hospitals, saving costs and elevating healthcare standards. Visit PrestigeHealthNet.com or call 251-517-4411 to learn more. JMF Solutions and Prestige HealthNet, building a brighter future for Alabama together.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get $1,750 in bonus lease cash on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5. Offer valid through April 30th, 2025. Offer entitled $1,750 bonus lease cash on the lease of a new and untitled 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 gas vehicle. Bonus cash may be used only toward down payment or capitalized cost reduction on the new vehicle. See dealer for details.
Sports bring us together. The sickness can keep us apart. Don't miss out on what matters most. Vaccines help keep you in the stands while we are on the court.
And the jam by Terry Reed.
Staying up to date on your vaccines, including for respiratory viruses, keeps you in the game, protecting yourself and those around you. Be here, be healthy. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM for more information.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965 by Hal and Melissa Guthrie, Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant. Guthrie still uses the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe in every chicken finger they serve. Fresh, hot, and fast. Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Time to take a look at what's up next for Bama. We've been talking all baseball on the show, and want to remind you that coming up with all these times, weather permitting, as Coach Vaughn mentioned, tomorrow the Crimson Tide will be in Birmingham, Homewood to be exact, to take on the Sanford Bulldogs. 6 p.m. will be the first pitch time. Our radio air time will be 5:45 across the network tomorrow for Alabama at Sanford. And then it's a quick turnaround Thursday through Saturday, Alabama against Missouri. 7 p.m. on Friday, 7 p.m. on Thursday, 6 p.m. on Friday, and then Saturday at 1 o'clock. Again, pregame show will begin 15 minutes prior to first pitch for all the baseball games. Softball, the same can be said as well. 15 minutes for the pregame show with Tom Canterbury and Gray Robertson. Starting with tomorrow's game at Alabama State, it is a 5 p.m. first pitch. Originally it was scheduled for later in the night, but it will be scheduled at 5 o'clock. Alabama gets Alabama State coming up tomorrow. And then also they're welcoming in the Missouri Tigers this weekend. That'll be a Friday through Sunday series. Friday's game at 6, Saturday at 8, and then Sunday at 2 o'clock. And then Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance, will be coming your way coming up next week from Foley, Alabama. Chris Stewart, Tom Stipe will be there in Foley for the final edition of Hey Coach this year. If you missed any portion of tonight's show, catch it on demand on our Alabama Insider podcast. Download and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. That does it for tonight's Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Good night from Baumhower's Victory Grill. For Ethan Carabin and Tom Stipe here at Baumhower's, Jerry Kelly and Colin Drews back at our Learfield studios, along with Coulson Buchanan, Kade Snell, and Rob Vaughn. This is Roger Hoover saying thanks for listening tonight. Good night, and roll.